Imagine a world without curated feeds, stories, or influencers, just regular photos. In simple terms, a world with no Instagram. While most stories begin at the beginning, I choose to begin this one from the middle, detailing the birth of Instagram. In just 8 weeks of development, the world of social media as we know it began in a small studio in San Francisco. This story is not so much about the origins of the social media giant, but about what happened leading to those 8 weeks of developing Instagram. It's a story about speed to market. Instagram was founded by Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger around 2010, but before it became Instagram, it was called Burbn. But here's where the story begins. One day, while on the beach with his then girlfriend, Kevin asked her if she would use Burbn, which was a location-based social networking app with features such as checking in at various locations, making plans, engaging with friends. She then responded that she would, but only for the purposes of photo sharing. But she then further complained that her photos were not as good as Kevin's. And that's when Kevin asked her, "Do you mean filters?" Which she then replied, "Yes." And that very same day, he rushed back to his laptop and started incorporating filters into the Burbn app. And that's where the story really takes off. As I was doing research, there's one question that kept bothering me and creeping up. And that is, what was taking place in 2010 that caused users to love Instagram so much that in just 24 hours of debuting on the App Store, the social media app had 25,000 users. After a month, that went up to 1 million. And by 18 months, they had 3 million users. Anyone using or developing an app knows just how hard it is to get people to adopt and use your app. The answer to this question comes from two primary trends that were taking place in 2010 that led to the major success of Instagram. I will speak of them in two broad categories: social and technological trends. I will use this as a backdrop for these trends to answer the question of why speed to market matters. So it's 2010 and the iPhone 4 has just released its revolutionary 5 megapixel camera. You have people lining up outside Apple stores worldwide, waiting for hours to buy this phone. On the other hand, you have Android phones as well, which are also becoming popular. The key technological trend that allowed Instagram to gain popularity was that for the first time, millions of people were walking around with decent cameras in their pockets. Not just phone cameras, but cameras that were powerful enough to capture memories worth sharing. Another key trend was the spread of 3G networks combined with the gradual rollout of 4G mobile connectivity, making it easier to upload photos from mobile devices. Cloud storage costs were also dropping, making photo-heavy services commercially viable. Another thing was app stores had matured, creating distribution channels that didn't exist just 2 years earlier. But here's the thing. Technology alone can't create a cultural phenomenon. Not at all. There had to be a social phenomenon taking place, driving millions of people to embrace a new way of sharing not just photos, but their life experiences. So it's 2010, Facebook is a popular social media channel, but we also have Twitter, where we're sharing our thoughts, limited to just 140 characters. But something was missing. People were experiencing what some have come to call digital fatigue. That is, they were tired of crafting this perfect status updates or reading lengthy posts. People wanted something simpler, something immediate, something visual. Meanwhile, there were also cultural shifts, paving the way for the explosion of Instagram. And this is where the experience economy comes in. People were valuing experiences. Food culture was exploding. People were taking pictures of their travels and their foods and when they're out at hotels and they're dining with friends and family. So in one simple term, we were becoming a culture that communicated visually, but we lacked the perfect tool to do it. And here's where the real genius of Instagram comes in. So it's 2010, smartphones have given us cameras in our pockets, but there were also limitations. The phones at that time were taking really poor photo qualities. And this is where Instagram's filters transformed photos into pictures that looked magical, artistic, even nostalgic. Here's why speed to market is so important when observed through the lens of technological and social trends. The launch of Instagram coincided with the explosive growth of smartphone adoption and the mainstreaming of mobile photography. By moving quickly, Kevin and Mike were able to capture this wave before competitors could even adapt. By the time Facebook recognized this threat, they had to acquire Instagram for $1 billion rather than outcompete it. In tech, identifying and riding these 10x shifts before others can mean the difference between becoming a unicorn or becoming irrelevant. So here's the thing. Instagram understood one fundamental human desire, and that's the desire to be seen and to share one's life. While technology changes, human desires for connection, belonging, and acceptance remain constant. Instagram succeeded by removing friction from the universal human desire to share visual moments of our lives. Their speed to market meant they captured this behavioral shift before others could establish dominance. This is what we've noticed so far in the story. Kevin and Mike were able to notice change in these key social and technological changes and rapidly evolve their then cult product Burbn. Instead of clinging to their original vision, they did something bold. They looked at the data. They noticed users loved the photo sharing feature compared to all the other features in Burbn. They decided to strip away everything else from the Burbn app. Months of hard work erased in an instance. They focused solely on photo sharing, making it simple and beautiful. The key challenge was, could they do it fast enough? The mobile app world was moving at lightning speed. They had to refine the filters, perfect the sharing process, and create a seamless user experience, and they had to do it quickly. So I wondered, were there moments of doubt? I believe they were. Could they really build a successful app with just photo sharing? Would people understand it, love it? And this is where it gets really, really interesting. They had one critical advantage. They were agile. As the story goes, in just 8 weeks, they were able to pivot from Burbn, a location-based social networking app, into Instagram, a photo sharing app, by deleting everything else that was not related to photo sharing. When they launched, people loved the simplicity, the quick and high quality filters, which made photo sharing easy and delightful. And Instagram was able to perfectly ride that wave. So here's why speed to market is so important when we observe it through the lens of what we have come to know as Parkinson's Law. That is, work expands to fill the time available. And by setting aggressive timelines, they avoided feature creep and over-engineering. This forced a prioritization of what truly mattered to users and allowed them to iterate based on real feedback rather than pure speculation. Competitors were starting to take notice, but Instagram had already established a strong foothold. They were the first to truly nail mobile photo sharing. Were there other competitors? Of course. You had Flickr, which is the dominant photo sharing platform, but primarily web-based, focused with limited mobile functionality. Facebook Photos was another, already embedded within Facebook's broader ecosystem. You also had Hipstermatic, a popular paid iPhone app costing $2, focusing on vintage style filters. Then you had PicPliz, a direct competitor that launched around the same time as Instagram. So finally, Instagram becomes this cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just an app, it was a way to see the world and to be seen by the world. Instagram became the visual diary of a generation. It wasn't just that Instagram was the right app. It was the right app at exactly the right technological and cultural moment. It perfectly responded to our desire for visual expression, our growing smartphone capabilities, and our fatigue with text-based sharing. I would like to end on this note as well. Beyond Instagram being the right app at the right time, when technology and social trends were changing, it was the right app at the right time because the founders managed opportunity costs. Every opportunity costs you something as a founder or entrepreneur. At any given moment, opportunities are competing for your time, talent, skills, and money. The skill is in knowing which opportunity to take and which to turn down. Opportunity costs are so important within the entrepreneurial journey, but they are never really emphasized enough. Every entrepreneurial decision carries significant trade-offs. When Kevin Systrom declined Mark Zuckerberg's offer to join Facebook, he sacrificed financial security and a career advancement for an uncertain vision. Had he chosen differently, Instagram might have never existed or would have emerged in a completely different form under someone else's vision. Founders constantly have to weigh opportunity costs, stable salaries, career progression, work-life balance, and personal milestones all get postponed for the entrepreneurial journey. So speed to market matters because it reduces the time spent in this painful uncertainty, allowing entrepreneurs to quickly validate whether their sacrifices will be worthwhile before the market opportunity disappears. If you're building a product, remember the Instagram story. Be agile, listen to your users, and don't be afraid to pivot. If you enjoyed the story, please like and subscribe for more insights into tech success stories. Speed isn't just about moving fast, it's about moving smart. And that's how Instagram changed everything.